Welcome in, guys, and I am back to talk about the Bears versus Lions. And going into this game, I know. Again, I want to say apologies, guys. I know that I promised a preview. I deeply am sorry for that because I had some things coming up this weekend. Didn't have a chance to do a preview, so apologies for that. But I will have the previews back next week. Um, I'm not. Hopefully, I'm gonna have one next week. I'm hoping. I'm not promising anything, but sorry if I didn't get one out this week, but for this game. But I will have one. Hopefully, have one. Knock on wood. Hopefully, have one next week. Going into this game, obviously both teams, lost our opening games. We lost to the Packers last week. We lost to the Packers at home, and then the Bears lost at home to the Vikings last Monday. And the big thing about this was Ben Johnson coming back to Detroit, coming back to face Dan Campbell, and a lot of people saying, was it Dan Campbell? Was it Ben Johnson last number of years with this team? And Ben Johnson had got a reaction from the fans, from the Lions fans today. They'll say fuck Ben Johnson. I saw and heard. I saw the video of them saying fuck Ben Johnson. But yeah, man, Ben Johnson's like, yeah, he just like not a homecoming that Ben Johnson wanted. But yeah, let's get into it. So ultimately, you look at the Bears and look at both of like the Bears and the Lions, and you're like, both defenses are not the best. They're not the best. Yes, I know that we won today, but ultimately they're not the best. And if we was up against an elite team today, like if we was up against like the Bills or Ravens or the Commanders again, or even like go against the Packers, like this defense would have been eaten alive again. We weren't the best. We were good in this game, but our defense still isn't the best as it should be. That's probably down to, again, we're still in transition with the whole Calvin Shipley defense, and the John Morton defense looked like kind of like a Ben Johnson. The John Morton offense looked like a Ben Johnson offense. But he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do your play calls. But anyway, we have a good start here. With a good, we start off with a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown to make it to get us on the board at 0-7 in the first. Then first and 13 for the Bears to get it. And then, well, I'll say for the Bears, the best guy on the field today was Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze looked pretty good today, but again, especially if you're looking at the Bears, and I had to, Braxton Jones is on this offensive line. If you're the Bears, you're invested heavily on this offensive line. If you're the Bears, but you're still starting Braxton Jones. I don't mind if we're facing Braxton Jones every week, but come on, man. Yeah, it's just, to me, he's just not the guy. Braxton Jones, but whatever. Rome Odunze was pretty good though. I think he had a pretty good game. The little that he had to do, I mean, same with kind of Caleb Williams, but yeah. Then we're like 6-7, and then the Bears get back in the game. Later on, it's like 14-37. A great touchdown, first and goal, from St. Brown. St. Brown. He again. St. Brown had a really good game. He had three receiving touchdowns today. I think he had a fantastic game. But there's a point here where St. Brown just gets past Stevenson on the Bears defense. It's like easily, like, you look at that. I thought our defense was bad, but this Bears defense, the Dennis Allen defense, more the Matt Evans defense, just got past him. Especially they don't have a great pass rusher on their defense. But yeah, we're 14-27 going into second, and then later on in the game, like, you have the Bears going back here with Swift coming getting a touchdown coming at our defense, and running with the ball again. If you're gonna go against us, one of our weaknesses this year is, again, like with last year, is running the ball. Josh Jacobs, Swift as well for the Bears. Like, again, the running game, especially even especially for us though this year, and like it was last year, still hasn't been addressed. But yeah, Swift got back in the game, and then Rome got himself another touchdown. You had James Williams James Williamson got himself on the scoreboard as well, and then it was 21-52. 21-52, and like I said, St. Brown had a really good day with 3 touchdowns. Then you look at Jared Goff last week. You know, he was back to his like early Detroit self, his late LA Rams, early Detroit style when he was when he was not when he was not good at his old kind of performances. Again, you get that with Jared Goff, where some games he'll have a great game, he's putting up some great numbers, he's really going well in the pocket, and he's just firing out. He's all his play calls and his leadership's doing well. And then you get the Jared Goff that's like you had last week, where he's getting fumbled on the ball, he's getting multiple turnovers, but you didn't in this game. Now again, that was probably because this Bears defense wasn't the best, but you only can beat the people who's in front of you. And Jared Goff had 5 touchdowns in this game, 5 passing touchdowns, 334 yards. He had 27 out of 28 throws, so it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad day for Jared Goff and for the Lions in general. We did give up 21 points, like I said. That was kind of okay. Still kind of have to address. There was still some times when the Bears' offense was still trying to get at Jared Goff, and I still think that offensive line still needs to be addressed. And I just don't think we didn't do enough to improve there. But we wasn't that bad today. But again, if we was up against a better opponent, a better opposition, then you're gonna go against that. But we win the game 21-52. We've got our first win of the season, and yeah, I'm happy. Great win, 21-52. And I saw something before the game, like somebody asked me just was Dan Campbell. I was shocked that Dan Campbell was gonna go for it. It's like, why wouldn't he go for the game? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we win the game 52-21. Looking at the Bears, like again, I didn't get to really see much of the Bears game last time. But when I saw this time, you're looking at this team, and you take away like Caleb Williams is trying, like he's trying with his offense. He's not the best. Like you got Rome Odunzio, but that offensive line is really killing the Bears. The offensive line and kind of the weapons around it, like Cole Kmet isn't that good. Cole Kmet needs to be out of this team. Braxton Jones is not good. Like there's a lot of dead wood in this team, just not good enough for the Bears. That shouldn't be starters that are starting. Especially when you look at, especially on the Bears' point of view, like you drafted heavily with for a new offensive line. Like we needed we both went in for kind of the same things. We needed to beef up that offensive line for the line side of things, and so did the Bears as well. But you're not starting 2 of the guys that you drafted for in the today. But you're starting Braxton Jones. Like you've had that project for a while. You've got a GM in Ryan Poles, 4 years in, second head coach. He's getting a new contract. Why? But yeah, leave your guys' thoughts and comments. I know it's a bit of a short one today, but yeah, leave your guys' thoughts on the Lions 52, Bears 21.